Do you ever wonder what people think about you by the way that you draw? Well, I'm here to make your social anxiety worse by telling you just that. Let's rip off this band-aid and get right to it. Sketchy. You and I are cut from the same cloth. We always want things to look clean and immaculate, but we keep going back to those textured pencil brushes because it itches our brains good. We're immensely frustrated all the time though, because the reference function for our line art layer doesn't work all that well and makes our pieces a complete mess if we want to do them fast. There's a lot of artifacting all the time. We are sad, we are just vibing and trying to have a good time with our silly little pencils. Let us vibe. Just line art / black and white. You draw this way because you like it, but also because you have 7 meetings before 10:30 a.m. and you just want some damn time to yourself. Either you launch into meticulous line art that you've honed over the years into a perfect process, or you do several sketches because you haven't drawn in 2 weeks and line art is pretty much the end of the line of what you're capable of doing that day. In both instances, you are tired. You drink black coffee to stay alive, and you really like rainy weather probably. Clean line art and color. On the outside, you appear aloof and happy-go-lucky. You often hear people say you're laid back. This is not the case. Clean line art takes a lot of time and effort. So does making sure all of your colors aren't a millimeter outside of the borders of your piece. This means that you are 1, bad at attending social events as you have no time, and 2, as much as you'd like to use the lasso tool and all those handy-dandy little functions that various programs give you, you don't use them, even though you should. You sit there and you draw all of your color in by hand, and you are me. Dramatic illustrations. I wish I was you. This is what I want to achieve. You have made deals with eldritch entities beyond our mortal comprehension to attain this level of skill. Please tell me your patron's name. I have a budget Cthulhu that can only tell me very vague instructions, and they're incredibly hard to follow. Much like our clean line art and clean color people, you don't have any time, especially for social media. But when you do post, people flock to you in droves. It's a bit overwhelming though, so you always turn off your post notifications and then you go take a nap, or you pet your cat and just drink some tea. Little guys. Chaos incarnate. Not one person I've met who draws little guys or has a little guy sona is normal. Dorian, you may ask, what are little guys? This is a little guy. Yes, I am one of those chaos-bound individuals. Other little guys include Drawfee and all those little animatics you see on YouTube Shorts and TikTok. We are strange people. We are unknowable, and we will draw pokefusions that will break the internet. It is foretold in the prophecies. Cutesy. You sell art at cons and you sell out fast when you do. Whatever it is you're doing it right, even though you're stressed out 24/7 and you don't eat or drink enough. Your partner is the mom friend who carries around snacks in a bag or a purse of some sort and has to make you stop for breaks so you don't keel over. You love what you do though, and that's what makes it all worth it. You also have some sort of pink shrine dedicated to your favorite anime or video game character. Believe me, I do too. Anime girls. You get all of your references off of Pinterest, and you're either 45 years old with a weird obsession with jiggle physics, or you're a very young adult who has only ever wanted to be a VTuber their entire life. There is no in between, and I am afraid of both of you. Some of you argue with me on the internet about AI and whether or not you can use AI art as a reference, and honestly, I am very tired of arguing. Most of you also have some sort of spicy side account that nobody should be looking at. There are really weird things on your accounts. Stop. Just stop. Jelly art. You are 12, and you only have one reference image that you are allowed to use. Otherwise, you explode. This is an alright art style, but I am literally begging all of you to diversify your art because you are all drawing the same person. It's no wonder the artist who created this art style trend literally went on the internet and called out a teenager for copying their art. How can you differentiate between these two? Hazbin. We can't be friends, and I don't want to be within a 5-mile radius of you. Ever. Are we really trying to emulate the style of the woman who thinks this is a good idea to put on a shirt? We don't live in 2010 anymore. This type of humor isn't funny. Please get a life and stop being racist. Thank you. Painting. My husband paints, and I don't understand him. Anyone who paints, especially on one layer, is clinically insane. You are gods. Please teach me your ways, because none of my professors made your art style understandable. It feels like my brain melts anytime I try to attempt it. You either take 200 hours to paint a beautiful piece, or 2 hours to fully render a painting on par with the creation of Adam. In both instances, you amaze me. You were also probably a gifted and talented kid who burnt out really fast from school, and you are now a late diagnosed autistic or have ADHD. Congrats on the diagnosis. Realism. I'm so sorry, but this is the most boring, in my opinion. This is a really cool skill to have, and I'm really happy for you, but you are just the equivalent of the adults in Charlie Brown. Sometimes your paintings look so photorealistic it makes my head spin and my skin crawl, and truly you are incredibly talented and have spent years honing your craft. You are the type of person that loves long walks on the beach, and you're probably a teacher or some sort of scientist as a career. You're definitely an older adult, and you knit as well. Surrealism. I am compelled by you. We share a headspace, and while I draw silly little creatures, you make horrific things only seen by the elder gods and the devil himself, probably. Have you eaten enough today? Or at all? How's your back? Do you need some aspirin or ibuprofen to help your joint pain? Please sit down and watch some sort of comfort show for at least 30 minutes. I am literally begging you. You need a break from this terrifying reality that you have witnessed. I'll put some herbal tea on for you, and here's a blanket. Furries, nicest people on the planet. Vocal minority are weirdos, but the majority of you were just warrior cat stands in your youth, and you probably still are to this day. I don't understand your need to suffer in a really hot costume for hours on end, but if that's what you like, that's what you like. There's a lot of stereotypes about furries, but you've actually done a lot to further advance society as it is, and I thank you for that. Godspeed, my friend. Animators, you have not been outside in days. Your eyes hurt constantly and your back no longer straightens out. Please seek help. Animators scare the living daylights out of me. It takes so long for me to make a ball move and procreate, and you're sitting there making literal music videos by lunchtime. It's okay to be normal, you know, and have hobbies. Tell me in the comments if I was right. And if you want, you can suggest a whole bunch of other art styles that I definitely didn't go over. And how dare I? If you're interested in gaming, I have a second channel over at The Game Saint, and I have a bunch of cool stuff down in the description below. If you like my content, remember to hit the like and subscribe button, and if you super enjoy my content, be sure to consider to become a patron or a channel member. Just remember, don't look in your attic. I'm secretly hoarding every art style in existence, so only I can be the truest of artists.
Thank you to Jacques, Herald of the Dark Roast, Meg, Exarch of the Golden Egg, High Artisan Anonymous Bee, Great Alpha Wolf Squilliam William, Nairuz, Seer of Rosy Mercy, Ghost, Infernal Collector of the Damned, Golden Paladin Court, Isabella, Redeemer of Bad Himbos, Keeper of the Lapin Warren, Robin, Most Royal of all the Rats, Ethereal Consort of House Vicarian, Fungal Sovereign Taz, Exalted Curator Wick, the Under-Elf of Delphinia, Paragon of Starlight, an impossible amount of rat babies, Divine Herald Jordan, Estrella, Sage of the Outer Realms, Wretched Sauce of House Worcestershire, Champion Pallypunk of the Immortal Valley, Taylor of Macabre Coney Livery, Eternal Apostle Austin, the Contingent of Fables, the Eminence of Light, Bunny, exarch of the ornate tomb, Harley the sanguineous, grand overlord Silas, being of exalted sunlight, delegate of clan Latinurs, eternal consul Puja, high magi Katie, the herald of wrens, knight Susan of the milkiest order, great seer Clare, and Sir Matthew, guardian of the preserved apiary.